How much are you worth? It's ultimately up to you. You applied for that job and they told you how much you were worth. You don't know how much you're worth. But if you're brave, you will be willing to figure it out. You can make 5 figures a month. You can take a vacation when you want to. You don't have to ask for a break. You do not have to clock into someone else's system. These are things that no one has ever told us ever. Okay? And why is that? No, it's not because it's impossible. It's because we are ignorant. Okay? And that's not an insult. That's the first step to freedom. Understanding where you are. Okay? Yes, you're ignorant. Your parents were ignorant. And if you keep up the flow of things, your children will be ignorant. And they will be stuck in the same system. You didn't know it was possible until now. People are out here doing that. People as young as 16 years old are able to generate 5 figures a month. That's going on right now in 2021. Okay, now you know it's possible. The brave are starting businesses in 2021 because they understand it's possible. Now, before I go over the paradigm shifting work here on this board, you got to understand one thing, okay? It's going to take me about 60 seconds to go over this here. And if you don't have 60 seconds to pay attention to what I'm about to say, then please click off the video now. Okay, go back to scrolling down your Facebook feed, go watch your cat videos or play Xbox, whatever it is that you're doing with your time, please go back to that because you lost already. This is not for you. Please like, share the video, I appreciate it, but you lost already. Brave people know in 2021 that there's nothing but opportunity in these streets. Okay, all you have to do is open up your eyes and you see people outside getting that money. All right, there's people as young as 18, even younger in some cases, that are able to generate 5 figures and even more in some cases. Okay, so if they can do it, what you have to ask yourself is, why aren't you doing it? Now, this video's purpose is to serve as a catalyst to help you make the transition from scarcity to abundance up here, because this is the only thing that's holding you back from reaching exactly where you want to be. If you want to be financially free, financially independent, all you have to do is update your system, update your framework, update your thinking for modern times, and you will see drastic results. Now, the first thing that brave people are starting to realize in 2021 is that job security is an illusion. Okay, now if you were present at all in 2020, you understand what happened. Something went around and it caused some havoc in society. Okay, and it was bad. It did a lot of bad, but it also did a lot of good. It woke a lot of people up to the truth of reality and a lot of the fabrications that we have in place. Okay, one of those fabrications was job security. All right, the brick and mortar stores, they're starting to disappear. Shopping centers starting to disappear, shut down, they're empty. All of these in-store positions, a lot of people work here. These are the beginner jobs, the easiest jobs to do, the push button jobs. Okay, all of these jobs are starting to disappear. Okay, and what happened in 2020 helped exponentiate the process. It's clear as day that things are changing very, very, very quickly. And the brave person understands that, and they understand that they have to be brave if they want to survive and live the life that they want. You are very replaceable. The average person is very replaceable in today's economy. And the only way to combat that is to become irreplaceable. How do you become irreplaceable? You develop skills that other people do not have. You develop abilities that other people do not have. That in turn increases your value. Now, when you are a master of what you do and no one or very few people can do it as good as you are, Everyone is going to come to you. Now you set your price. You know exactly what you're worth. It's up to you. Okay? And how you become irreplaceable is you have to get good with your hands. Okay, you have to get good with these, learn some skills, and just develop yourself as a human being. 5-10 years back, you may remember, oh, they took our jobs. No, it's not they took our jobs. It's it took our jobs. It took your job. Okay? Better yet, it didn't take your job. You have no skills that are worth paying for. All right, that's what's happening here. And that's why brave people are starting businesses, because they realize they cannot depend on the corporation to give them life anymore, because the corporation is going to do what's good for the corporation. If the corporation can hire a machine to do your job at 100% accuracy and is never late, never gives any lip, doesn't want a raise, doesn't have family issues, then that machine is definitely going to get that job, okay? So the brave person is starting to realize that in 2021, you have to learn how to work with your hands, okay? We are human beings. We're not here to push buttons. We're here to work with our hands, all right? We're essentially the gardeners of Earth. We've been given dominion over this land sphere. And if you think that you're going to use that power to push buttons, you're full of it. Not only that, okay, 50 years ago, when people would sign up for these companies and hey, I'm giving you 40 years of my life, what do I get in return? They say, hey, look, we got some benefits. We got pensions. We got this stuff for you. Okay, we'll give you this. You help us out this whole time. We'll take care of you for the rest of your life. At the end of your life. That is no longer happening today. That is not as frequent. Okay, those things are disappearing from the marketplace. Okay, so now it's a lot more difficult, at least for, I think, a smart person, to give up 40 years of their life for nothing. That's how dumb we are starting to get. That's how ignorant we are starting to become. The brave person understands that their money is their key to freedom. Okay? And if they cannot control that, then they are not free. All right? Which brings us to our next point here. Wages. Brave people are starting business in 2021 because they realize that when they're working under an entity, they're working for a corporation, when they're working for their job, they are just over broke. J-O-B. All right, that's the purpose of the job, okay? They need to give you enough so you keep coming back but never leave. The brave person knows that their wages are capped when they're working for someone else, under someone else, okay? They're at the whim of somebody else. If this person decides to shut down their store, their business today, okay, the brave person realized that they would be out of work. Their family would suffer. They would suffer. Okay, all because they didn't take responsibility. So they understand that in this society, the $15 an hour society, that's what I call it. You're gonna make $32,000 a year. If you've reached adulthood, you know that $32,000 a year is not going to be enough to give you that dream life, that American dream that we all so much want and see. And we want a house, we want a car, phone, have time to do everything else that we want to do in life. You're not going to be able to do that unless you are just supremely gifted at $32,000 a year. Okay, it's impossible. Highly unlikely. I'm not going to say impossible. That means that your freedom, your opportunity to do what you want on this earth, to go where you please, is capped by your employment, by how many hours you can work. And not only that, you're working in a stinky, sweaty factory, okay, in some tight ass cubicle, okay? Shoulders are getting rounded, you're starting to grow breasts. That's not what we're here to do. That's not what I'm here to do. And if you're watching this video, I know that's not what you're here to do. you will not create wealth quickly working for someone else. Okay, the fastest way to generate wealth is to understand your value, is to create your value. Okay, and sell yourself. How much are you worth? It's ultimately up to you. You applied for that job and they told you how much you were worth. You don't know how much you're worth. But if you're brave, you will be willing to figure it out. The brave person understands that their chances go dramatically up when they are in control of their finances, when they're in control of their time, and in control of their value. Okay, you will not create wealth quickly working for others. You can create wealth, but typically it takes a large investment up front, a lot of time spent up front, and a lot of shoulder rubbing in the back room. Okay, a lot of boot licking behind closed doors. That's how you reach that point in the higher up company where you'll be just underneath the few guys that are actually in charge of everything. It'll give you a sense of power and you'll be paid a little bit more like them, but never truly like them. And you'll always be required to come to work. You will not be able to say, hey, yeah, I'm just gonna take this day off. I'm just gonna take this week off. I'm gonna go take a trip to Brazil. That's not gonna happen, okay? All right, and that's what the brave person really understands, is that their time is their most valuable asset. If you're older than 18 years old, you probably have heard of the phrase YOLO. You only live one time. And I really wish that people would have taken that a lot more seriously, because you only live one time. Do you want to spend your entire life working in the stinky ass factory or in some tight ass cubicle? I don't. Okay. I want to tell my boss to kiss my ass and go work for my company. And that is actually what I have done. The brave person understands that in 2021, income is not linear. Okay. What you put in does not equal what you get out. Okay. Working harder is not the move in 2021. It's about working smarter. Okay, leveraging your time, your resources, your opportunities, your people to generate as much value, as much work as possible. Okay, and as efficiently as possible as well. All right, that's what the brave person is starting to understand. Why would you work 40 hours a week at $15 an hour when you could work 20 hours a week at $100 an hour? This is what the brave person understands, and that's why they're starting their business. Now, we live in the age of information. Okay, everything can be accessed from your phone. You're carrying around one of the strongest computers in the history of mankind. Okay, so the know-how is out there. All you have to do is actually do it. If you found this video helpful, useful, empowering, okay, like the video, share it, drop a comment. Okay, I appreciate it. I'm gonna be dropping a lot more information on y'all like this, a lot more gems to come in 2021. So pay attention and be aware. Okay, even if you do not watch me, watch other people who have access, who understand this information. Okay, because if you do not pay attention, you will be left in the dust. And you do not want to realize that you are behind the ball when the shit hits the fan. Appreciate it.